The girl in shadows? The night was quiet on the edge of the colony. Lights from human houses shone far away, but here, in the broken alleys of metal and stone, there was only darkness. In that darkness moved a small figure. Her steps were slow. Her hands reached out, touching the ground, feeling the edges of trash piles. She did not have eyes that worked like others. She could not see the world. She was an alien girl. No one knew her true name. Some humans whispered that she was cursed. Some called her a shadow child. Others just avoided her. But the girl did not care about names. She cared only about surviving each day. Every night when the colony slept, she came out to search. Her fingers touched broken bottles, wires, scraps of food, anything she could use. The trash was her treasure. The trash was her life. The world for her was made of sounds. She knew the colony by the hum of the power lines, the creak of broken fences, the whistle of wind through empty cans. She knew the people by their steps, heavy boots, quick shoes, dragging feet. And she knew danger too. The sound of rocks being lifted, the sharp laugh of cruel boys ready to throw them at her. She stayed away from humans. They did not like her kind. Once when she was younger, she had reached out to a woman hoping for food. The woman screamed, dropped the basket, and ran away. The next day, men came and beat the girl until she crawled back into the shadows. From that day, she decided, no more asking, no more hoping. She would live alone. Still, inside her heart, there was a secret pain. She had never seen the stars. She had never seen the sun. She had never seen her own face. She did not even know what her world looked like. On this night, she was bending over a pile of broken cans when she heard it. Footsteps, not far away. Slow, careful. She froze, holding her breath. For a long moment, the sound stopped. Then it came again, closer. The girl crouched low, her sharp ears wide open. It was not the heavy boots of guards. It was not the fast feet of cruel children. This was different. A single pair of shoes, light and steady. She clutched a sharp piece of metal in her hand, ready to defend herself. "Who's there?" she whispered, her voice dry and soft. No answer. Only silence, then a voice, gentle, uncertain. I'm not here to hurt you." The girl's heart raced. She had never heard that tone before. Humans usually spoke to her with anger, with fear, or with mocking laughter. But this voice was calm, almost kind. She stepped back, her foot knocking over a can. It clattered loudly. "Stay away," she warned. Her hands shook, but she kept the piece of metal tight. The human did not move closer. Instead, she heard the sound of something being set down on the ground. A soft clink like glass. "I don't want to hurt you," the human repeated. "I just thought maybe you could use this." The girl tilted her head, confused. She could smell him now, soap, leather, and something sweet, maybe fruit. He was young, but not a child. His breathing was steady, not fast with fear. She waited until the footsteps faded, until the silence returned. Only then did she lower her weapon. Slowly, carefully, she moved forward, her hands brushing the ground until her fingers touched the object he had left. It was strange. Smooth on one side, cold metal on the other. Two circles connected by a thin bridge. She lifted it to her face, curious. It was broken, scratched, and dusty. She pressed it against her eyes, but of course nothing changed. She laughed bitterly. "What a useless gift," she muttered. But deep inside, something felt different. No one had ever left her anything. No one had ever thought she needed something. She did not understand what it was, but she held on to it, hiding it in her pile of treasures. As she lay down that night, curled up in her corner of broken wood and cloth, she kept her hand on the strange object. She did not know it yet, but this broken gift would change everything. Far away in the quiet shadows, the human boy watched. He had seen her many nights, searching, stumbling, surviving, and for reasons he did not yet understand, he wanted to help her. The alien girl had lived all her life in darkness, but soon, very soon, she would open her eyes and see a world she never imagined. The meeting the next night was colder. Wind whistled through the broken fences and carried dust across the empty streets. The alien girl crouched near her usual trash pile, fingers searching for anything useful. She had eaten nothing all day. Her stomach hurt, but she did not complain. She never complained. Her hands touched the strange object again, the two circles connected by a thin bridge. The gift left by the human. She had hidden it, but she could not stop touching it. It felt like no trash she had ever found. Smooth, delicate, almost important. She did not know why he had given it to her. Humans never gave her anything. Humans only shouted, threw stones, or chased her away. And yet last night one had left her this. She shook her head. It must be a trick. Maybe he wanted her to trust him, then trap her. That was how humans worked. She pressed her lips together and pushed the thought away. But then her sharp ears caught it. The same sound of footsteps. Slow. Steady. Her body froze. She clutched the object to her chest and stepped back, hiding in the shadows. The voice came again. Gentle. Careful. You're here, aren't you? She did not answer. I know you don't trust me, the boy said. His tone carried no anger, no threat. Only patience. I'm not here to hurt you. I see you every night. You're always alone, always searching. The girl's throat tightened. Why was he watching her? She wanted to run, but her legs did not move. Why do you follow me? She asked, her voice low, almost a growl. I don't follow you, he said quickly. I just notice you. Everyone notices you, but they pretend not to. They turn away. I thought maybe... He stopped like the words were stuck. She stayed quiet. Silence stretched between them. Finally, the boy stepped forward just a little. His shoes scraped the dirt. The thing I left you yesterday. Did you find it? Her fingers tightened around the circles. Yes, but it's useless. It's broken, he admitted. But I can fix it. If you let me, she almost laughed. Fix it for her? No one ever fixed anything for her. They only broke. They only destroyed. Why? She demanded. The boy's voice dropped. Because you deserve it. Those words hit her like a stone to the chest. She had no answer. She wanted to shout, to tell him he was lying, but his voice was too steady, too honest. She heard him kneel down, the sound of his knees pressing the dirt. Can I come closer? He asked. The girl took a long breath. Her mind screamed no, but her heart whispered something else. Slowly, carefully, she gave a single nod. The boy's steps were soft as he moved closer. When he was near, she could smell him again. Soap, leather, fruit. She reached out one shaking hand holding the broken object toward him. His fingers touched hers. Warm. Human. She flinched, pulling back, but he did not grab her. He only took the object gently from her hand. It's a pair of glasses, he explained. Humans use them to see better when their eyes are weak. Her brows furrowed. See? The word meant little to her. She had lived her whole life in darkness. He seemed to sense her confusion. You can't see, can you? He asked softly. The girl shook her head. No. The boy held the glasses, turning them in his hands. Then maybe these can help. I'll fix them. But you'll have to trust me. Trust. The word felt dangerous, sharp. She had trusted once, long ago, and it ended with pain. She did not want to trust again. But something inside her, something small and hidden, wanted to try. I don't even know your name, she whispered. Elias, he said. My name is Elias. She stayed silent. And you? He asked gently. She shook her head again. No name. Then I'll wait until you want to tell me, Elias said. His voice carried no pressure, only patience. For the first time, she felt something strange inside her chest. Not fear, not hunger. Something softer. Elias stood up. I'll come back tomorrow. With the glasses fixed. Her heart beat faster. She did not want him to go, but she did not want him to stay either. Before she could answer, his footsteps began to fade into the night. The girl sat back down, hugging her knees. For a long time, she stayed still, listening to the silence. Her fingers touched the dirt where his hand had brushed hers. Warmth still lingered there. She did not know why this human was different. She did not know why he wanted to help. But she knew one thing. Her world was beginning to change. And deep in her heart, for the first time, she wondered, what if I could see? A strange gift the night came again, heavy with cold air. The alien girl waited in her corner of broken wood and cloth. Her ears were wide open, listening for the sound of those steady footsteps. She told herself she didn't care if he came back. She told herself humans always lied, but still, her heart beat faster as each minute passed. At last, she heard it. Light steps, slow and steady, moving toward her trash pile. Are you here? Elias asked, his voice soft in the dark. She pulled her knees to her chest. Why did you come back? I told you I would, he replied. She frowned. Humans often promised, but their promises broke like glass. Yet here he was. Elias knelt down again. She heard the faint jingle of metal in his hand. I fixed the glasses, he said. They're not perfect, but maybe they can help. The girl's body tensed. Glasses. That strange word again. She did not know what it meant, but she could hear the hope in his voice. Hold still, Elias said gently. She hissed. Don't touch me. I won't hurt you, he promised. Just trust me for a moment. Her fingers dug into the dirt. Her breath came fast. Trust was dangerous, but something deep inside whispered that she should try. Slowly, she gave a small nod. Elias moved closer. His hand brushed her hair aside, then gently slid the glasses onto her face. The circles pressed against her nose, the cold metal touching her skin. At first, nothing changed. Darkness still surrounded her. Her lips parted in disappointment. Then, something flickered. A faint glow. Blurry shapes. She gasped and stumbled back, her chest rising and falling fast. What is this? She cried. Open your eyes, Elias said softly. Keep them open. Let them adjust, her eyes burned. She blinked again and again. Slowly, the blur sharpened. The soft glow became brighter. And then she saw something. Light. Not just light. Color. She screamed and ripped the glasses off, clutching her face. Her heart raced like a drum. Elias's voice came quickly. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be afraid, but she was afraid. The world had always been black. Only sound and touch had guided her. Now something new and terrifying pressed into her mind. Her hands shook as she held the glasses out. What is this magic? Elias chuckled softly. It's not magic. It's just glass. Humans make them for weak eyes. They bend the light, help you see. The word felt strange on her tongue. She had heard humans speak of sight before, but it had been just a story to her. She never thought it could be real. Carefully, Elias took her hands and placed the glasses back on her face. Try again, look. Her body trembled, but she obeyed. At first there was blur again. Then slowly shapes formed. The outline of Elias's face came into view. His hair, his nose, the flicker of his eyes in the faint light. She gasped. You have a face. Elias laughed, warm and gentle. Of course. Everyone does, she stared wide-eyed. His features were not clear, but they were real. The first face she had ever seen. Tears stung her eyes. She looked down and saw her own hands, pale and trembling. She touched them as if to make sure they were truly hers. For the first time she saw herself, Her voice cracked. I can see, Elias nodded. Not perfectly. The glasses are still broken. But it's a start. The girl pressed her hands over her mouth. She felt dizzy, overwhelmed. The stars above, the broken fences, the scattered trash, all came into her vision in strange, rough shapes. It was too much. Too different. She tore the glasses off again and curled into a ball, rocking back and forth. I don't want it, she whispered. It's too much, Elias did not scold her. He did not leave. He only sat nearby, his voice calm. It's okay. You don't have to rush. The world has been dark for you all your life. Light can be painful at first. But if you keep trying, it will get easier. She stayed curled, but his words reached her heart. Slowly, she lowered her arms. Why? She asked. Why give this to me? Elias paused. Because no one should live in darkness. She stared at him, though her eyes blurred with tears. No one had ever spoken to her like that. No one had ever cared. She touched the glasses again. Fear still burned in her, but curiosity flickered stronger now. Maybe, just maybe, this strange gift could show her a new world, and for the first time, she felt the smallest spark of hope. Learning to see. The days that followed were unlike anything the alien girl had ever known. For as long as she remembered, her world was sound and touch. Now with the strange circles Elias called glasses, shapes, and colors entered her life. But sight was not simple. It was confusing, painful, and sometimes frightening. She sat in her corner one night, the glasses resting on her nose. Her eyes burned as they tried to focus. Elias sat nearby, patient as always. What do you see? He asked. The girl squinted. Blur, lights, shadows. She pointed a shaky hand toward a lamp in the distance. That hurts my eyes. That's light, Elias explained gently. Your eyes are not used to it. They'll get stronger with time. She turned her head slowly, staring at his outline. And you are clearer now. You are not just a voice. Elias smiled, though she could not yet see his smile fully. Yes, that's me. The girl touched her own face, tracing her nose, her mouth. Then she looked again at her hands. I didn't know I was like this. You're more than you think, Elias said softly. His words made her chest feel heavy. No one had ever spoken kindly of her before. No one had ever stayed with her this long, but sight was not only wonder, it was danger too. When she wandered too far near the colony, children spotted her. She could hear their laughter, cruel and sharp. With her glasses on, she could see their faces twist into disgust. Stones hit the ground near her feet. Monster! They shouted. Go back to the shadows! She stumbled back, her vision breaking with fear. Her chest hurt and tears blurred her sight. The glasses nearly slipped from her face. Elias pulled her away before the stones grew harder. They hid in a narrow alley, her breath shaking. Don't listen to them, Elias whispered. They don't understand, but the girl's heart bled. Sight had shown her beauty, the stars, the glow of lamps, the reflection of water. Yet it had also shown her ugliness, not in herself, but in the eyes of others. Maybe I was better blind, she whispered, her voice trembling. No, Elias said firmly. Darkness kept you from pain, yes, but it also kept you from everything good. You deserve to see the good, she did not answer. Her hands clutched the glasses, torn between fear and hope. That night, Elias did something different. He led her away from the colony, up a hill that overlooked the wide sky. Put them on, he urged. Reluctantly, she slid the glasses back over her nose. Her eyes blinked, adjusting to the night, and then she saw it. The stars, hundreds, thousands, glittering like silver dust across the black sky. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. She raised her hands as if she could catch them, but they were far, far away. There's so many, she whispered. Yes, Elias said softly, and they've always been there. You just couldn't see them. She felt her chest tighten, but this time with wonder, not pain. The stars were not cruel. They did not laugh or throw stones. They simply shone, endless and silent. She turned to Elias, blinking at his outline against the starlight. For the first time, she wanted to keep looking. Day by day, her sight grew stronger. Elias taught her to name colors: blue sky, green leaves, red fruit. She learned the shape of water rippling in a bucket, the dance of firelight in a lantern, the way shadows stretched when the sun set. Each discovery filled her with awe, but also fear. The more she saw, the more she realized how much she had missed. One evening, as they sat near the river, Elias handed her a piece of broken glass. She looked at it, confused. See your reflection, he said. She tilted the glass and gasped. A face stared back at her. Her own face. Her skin was pale, her eyes wide and strange, her mouth trembling. She touched her cheek, and the reflection did the same. That is me? She whispered. Yes, Elias said. Now you know what others see. Her heart sank. No wonder they hate me, but Elias shook his head. No, they hate what they don't understand. But I see you, and you're not what they think. She looked at him, eyes stinging with tears. She did not know why his words mattered so much. But they did for the first time. She wanted to keep seeing, not just the stars, not just her face, but the boy who stayed beside her when no one else would. And deep inside, a quiet thought bloomed. Maybe sight was not a curse. Maybe it was the beginning of something new. The trouble begins. The girl's world was changing quickly. With the glasses, shapes and colors became part of her life. Each night, Elias showed her something new. She saw fireflies glowing like tiny lanterns, water shining under the moon, and her own hands reaching out toward the stars. For the first time, she felt almost human, almost alive. But the colony noticed. At first, it was whispers, shadows moving at the edge of the alleys, faces watching from doorways. People wondered why the strange alien girl, once hidden, now walked closer to the light. One evening, as Elias guided her through the narrow streets, a group of children appeared. She recognized their cruel laughter. They threw stones before, but this time they stopped and stared. She's wearing something, one boy muttered. Look at her eyes, another laughed. Trying to look human, are you? The girl's hand shook. She wanted to run, but Elias stepped forward. Leave her alone, he said firmly. The children only grinned wider. Why protect her, Elias? She's a monster. Everyone knows it. The girl's chest tightened. Even with the glasses, she could not see herself as normal. Her reflection still looked strange, different, wrong. Maybe they were right. Maybe she was a monster. That night, when they reached her shelter, she pushed the glasses into Elias's hands. "Take them back," she whispered. "What?" Elias looked shocked. "I don't want them. They only make things worse. Now everyone looks at me. Everyone hates me." Elias shook his head. "No, you can't go back to the dark. You've seen too much. Don't let their hate blind you again." But she turned away, curling into a ball. "You don't understand. You're human. You belong here. I don't." Silence filled the air. For a long moment, Elias said nothing. Then softly, he placed the glasses back in her hand. "Whether you wear them or not, you're still you, and you're not alone anymore." His words touched something deep inside her, though fear still clung to her heart. The trouble grew worse. By the third night, men in the colony began whispering louder. She could hear their voices as she passed hidden corners. "She shouldn't be here. She'll bring danger. Why does that boy waste time on her?" Their anger grew like fire. Some wanted her gone. Others wanted her dead. Elias ignored them. He kept visiting, kept teaching her, kept protecting her, but the girl could see the strain in his eyes, the way his shoulders tightened when others glared. One night, when they sat by the river, she asked him, "Why do you stay?" "They will hurt you for helping me." Elias stared at the water. The moonlight touched his face, and for a moment he looked older than his years. "Because I can't turn away," he said quietly. "Everyone else does. They see you suffer and they walk past. I won't be like them." The girl's chest ached. No one had ever chosen her before. She wanted to thank him, but the words stuck in her throat. The next evening, the trouble exploded. As they walked through a narrow street, a group of men blocked the way. Their eyes burned with suspicion. One carried a stick. Another held a lantern that shook with anger. "There she is," one growled. "The shadow girl." "Elias," another snapped. "Why bring her here? She doesn't belong with us." "She's not dangerous," Elias said quickly. "She only wants to survive." But the men stepped closer. "She's not one of us. And you, boy, you're blinded by pity. She'll betray you. They always do." The girl's hands trembled. She wanted to hide, to crawl back into the shadows where she once lived. But Elias stood tall in front of her. "She's not a monster," he said, his voice strong. "She's more human than any of you right now." The men growled. One raised his stick as if to strike. The girl gasped and clutched Elias's arm. "Please," she whispered. "Don't fight them. I don't want you hurt." But Elias did not step aside. "If they want to hurt you, they'll have to go through me." For a tense moment, the air stood still. The lantern's flame flickered, shadows stretching across the walls. The men's anger wavered, but not enough to vanish. Finally, one spat on the ground. "Stay away from the colony," he snarled. "If we see her again, it won't end with words." They turned and left, their footsteps echoing in the dark. The girl collapsed to her knees, shaking. Tears ran down her cheeks. "You see?" she whispered. "I bring nothing but danger. You should leave me." Elias knelt beside her and lifted her chin. For the first time, she saw his eyes clearly in the lamplight, steady, unafraid. "I won't leave you," he said. "No matter what they say. No matter what they do," her heart pounded. She wanted to believe him, but fear coiled tight inside her chest. The trouble had begun, and deep down, she knew it was only the start. The choice. The warning from the men echoed in the alien girl's mind for days. "Stay away from the colony. If we see her again, it won't end with words." She tried to hide in the shadows again as she once did, but things were different now. The glasses had opened her eyes. She had seen the stars, the river, Elias's face. To return to darkness felt impossible, yet every step into the light carried danger. That danger found her one night. She was near the market's edge, searching for scraps. Elias had promised to meet her later, but before he arrived, a group of humans surrounded her. Children and adults together, their faces twisted with anger. "There she is," a boy shouted. "The monster with the fake eyes." The girl froze, clutching the glasses on her face. One of the men sneered. "Think you can dress like us? Think you belong here?" He snatched up a stone and hurled it. It struck her shoulder. She stumbled but did not cry out. Another stone flew, this time hitting her hand. The pain was sharp, but worse was the laughter that followed. Tears blurred her vision. The world she had fought to see now hurt more than the darkness ever did. She tried to back away, but the crowd pressed closer. Then a stone hit her face. The glasses cracked. "No," she cried, clutching them. But it was too late. One lens shattered, the frame bending out of shape. Her vision blurred again into broken light and shadow. The children laughed harder. The men raised their sticks and then a voice cut through the chaos. "Stop!" Elias ran into the circle, his chest heaving with rage. He pushed through the crowd and stood in front of her, arms spread wide. "Leave her alone," he shouted. The men snarled. "She doesn't belong here. We warned you." "She's not hurting anyone," Elias snapped. "You're the ones attacking her. Look at her, she's just a girl." But the crowd only roared louder. "She's not one of us. She'll bring ruin. You're blind if you can't see it." Elias's fists clenched, but he did not move aside. "Then I'll stay blind, because I see her better than any of you." The alien girl trembled behind him, clutching the broken glasses. Her voice shook. "Elias, please don't, they'll hurt you." But Elias did not step back. His voice rang like iron. "If you want to hurt her, you'll have to hurt me first." The crowd hesitated. No one expected such defiance from a boy. Their anger wavered, tangled with doubt. Some lowered their stones. Others spat curses and walked away. One by one, the mob broke apart, muttering as they disappeared into the night. At last, silence fell. The girl collapsed to her knees, tears streaming down her face. The broken glasses lay in her lap. She held them tightly as if pieces of her soul were trapped inside. I ruined them," she whispered. "The only thing that gave me light, and I ruined it." Elias knelt beside her. His hand gently touched her shoulder. "You didn't ruin anything, they did, but I can fix them again." Her eyes widened. "You still want to help me? Even after this?" Elias nodded firmly. "Yes, because you matter. Because you're not what they say you are." She shook her head, sobbing. "I bring you nothing but pain. Why don't you leave me?" "Because you've lived your whole life in shadows," Elias said, his voice steady. "And now you've seen light. You deserve to keep it, and I won't let anyone take it from you." The girl's heart broke open. She had been hated, feared, and shunned her entire life. But here was someone who chose her again and again, even when it cost him. She pressed the broken glasses to her chest and whispered, "Why? Why do you care so much?" Elias looked into her trembling eyes. "Because someone has to. And because I believe you're worth it." The girl's tears spilled faster. For the first time, she wanted to believe those words. She wanted to believe she was more than a monster. That night, as Elias guided her back to safety, she clutched the broken glasses close. They no longer gave her sight, but they carried something else now. Hope. Elias had made his choice. He had chosen her. And though the colony still burned with hate, a small flame of courage lit inside her heart. For the first time, she wondered if maybe she could choose too. A new dawn, the alien girl sat alone in her shelter, the broken glasses clutched tightly in her hands. The crack in the lens cut across her vision like a scar. Her sight flickered between blur and shadow, but she refused to let go. These were more than just glass. They were the gift that had given her a world she never thought she would know. Her chest hurt with the memory of stones, shouts, and cruel laughter. But stronger than that memory was another one. The image of Elias standing in front of her, refusing to move, refusing to let her face the crowd alone. She had lived all her life in darkness. But now she knew something brighter than sight. She was not alone anymore. That night, Elias returned. His clothes were torn, his arms bruised from the struggle with the men. But his eyes were steady, his smile unbroken. "You kept them safe," he said softly, seeing the glasses in her hands. Her voice trembled. "They're broken. Like me." Elias shook his head. He knelt beside her, took the glasses and pulled a small kit from his pocket. "Wire, screws, careful tools. Then we'll fix them, together." She watched wide-eyed as his hands worked. His fingers moved slowly, bending the frame, tightening the screws, smoothing the sharp edges. He hummed under his breath, calm and steady. For the first time, she dared to ask, "Why don't you hate me, Elias?" "Everyone else does." He looked up at her, his eyes shining in the lamplight. "Because you're not what they see. They see fear. I see someone brave. You lived in darkness your whole life, and you survived. That's not weakness. That's strength." Her throat tightened. She wanted to argue, to deny, but her heart ached with hope. His words dug deep, planting something new inside her, something she had never allowed before. When he finished, he held the glasses out to her. They were still scratched, still imperfect, but stronger now, steadier. "Try," he said. With shaking hands, she lifted them to her face. At first blur, then slowly shapes sharpened, Elias's face came into view, tired, bruised, but smiling. And beyond him, through the cracks in her shelter, light spilled in. The sun. She gasped. The world outside was no longer hidden. Colors painted the sky in fire, orange, gold, pink. The sun was rising, glowing brighter than any lamp, warmer than any fire. Her mouth fell open, her eyes wide. "It's a beautiful," Elias smiled softly. "That's a sunrise. It means a new day, a new beginning." She stepped outside, her legs trembling, her heart racing. The colony still loomed in the distance, cold and unwelcoming, but the sky above cared nothing for hatred. The light touched everything, ruined fences, broken cans, the dirt beneath her feet, and for the first time, it touched her face. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but this time they were not from pain. Elias stood beside her, quiet and steady. "Now you can see," he said. "And now, maybe they can see you too." The girl turned her gaze to him. Her voice shook, but it carried a strength she had never known. "Will you stay, even if they never accept me?" Elias nodded without hesitation. "I'll stay, as long as it takes, because you're not alone anymore." Her hands trembled as she reached out, not hiding, not afraid. For the first time, she walked beside someone, not behind, not in shadows. The path ahead was uncertain. The colony's hatred had not vanished. There would still be danger, still be fear. But now she had something she never had before: light, sight, and a friend who refused to abandon her. The girl lifted her face to the sun, her broken glasses glinting in the morning glow. And in that moment, the alien girl who once lived in darkness stepped into a new dawn.